All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Boyles. We're here for yet another IBM Insight chat on Hangouts. And today we have quite a roster of folks here to talk about a curriculum deep dive into analytics and content. I want to welcome everyone here, and I just want to go around the room and sort of have some quick introductions and have everybody tell us where you're phoning in from this morning. So we'll start out with you, David.
Well, good morning. This is David Jeunesse, and I'm calling in from Westchester County, New York.
Awesome. Welcome. Stephen, you're up.
This is Steve Hussey. I'm calling in from Costa Mesa, and I'm in the ECM group in content management.
Welcome. All right, Jane, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jane Hendricks. I'm calling in from Chicago, and I am the Technical Marketing Manager for Predictive Analytics, so I'll be representing Advanced Analytics here.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Mary.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Kern. I'm the Worldwide Program Manager for, or Content Marketer for Watson Analytics, and I'm calling in from Chicago.
Welcome. Well, I am calling in from sunny North Carolina. I'm in Wake Forest, right outside Raleigh, and sometimes I'm working out of our RTP software lab, but not today. So let's get underway, everybody. What we're here to talk about is, of course, Insight 2015, which is coming up in just almost a couple of weeks here. So what we wanted to do is give a curriculum sort of overview for your areas, and I just want to give the floor up to each of you to give some highlights and what you think the most relevant sessions are for the attendees, you know, for our partners and for our sales force to understand are going to be key for this year's conference. So, Jane, we're going to start out with you to talk about analytics and all the fascinating things around predictive and advanced and all the different areas within analytics. Let's start with you and talk more about your sessions that you think are relevant for Insight this year.
Great, sure. So we have, as you can imagine, advanced analytics is broad. We just heard all of the announcements on the cognitive era, and advanced analytics is the fuel of the cognitive era. So our sessions reflect that, and our agenda reflects that as well. We have a number of sessions that are going to take folks deep into what predictive analytics means, what business intelligence means, what optimization means, how all of these advanced capabilities work together. And you won't just hear from us, from IBM, though we have really good IBMers up there talking about their experiences. You'll hear from our customers who are applying this, and you'll see this in the demo room as well. So not only do you hear about it, you can actually get your hands on some of these really high-end, really complicated kind of experiences that we make fairly easy. So I can't stress enough really how broad this agenda is. I wish I could say here's the one session you can't miss, but you really shouldn't miss any of it. Anything that has what's new in the title, I would strongly encourage you to attend. We're going to have some announcements. Of course, we always have announcements, and I don't want to give too much away, but I think you'll hear how we're really kind of pushing the envelope on advanced analytics. So our keynote is on Monday. I think that is a cannot miss event, and we want to make sure that you join us for that, for the sessions, the What's News, the demo room, and the hands-on labs as well, so you can actually learn and take it home with you. And I think I've covered everything we could possibly cover in the time that you allotted me.
Well, are there any key? I know it's kind of like picking your favorite child to pick out sessions or even speakers, but are there any? For me, I love to hear sort of if there is there a speaker that you're particularly looking forward to in any of those areas, or even a client story that you know about?
Yes, so a couple sessions. I'm a bit partial to predictive analytics, so I really hope you join us for the What's New in Predictive Analytics. I'm delivering that actually along with my offering manager counterpart, and we have a lot of really good topics. I don't want to give too much away. I also want to make sure that folks join the What's New in Business Intelligence. That's being delivered by the folks behind Cognos, if I can say that. And again, it's promises to be a really interesting session with some key announcements. So those are two internal sessions that I think really I want everyone to pay attention to. From a customer session, it's really hard to pick because we have a lot of really excellent sessions there. One that comes to mind because I've been working with them quite a bit and I know they have a great story is Boeing. What's nice is what they're doing is we talk about hybrid, trusted, open. Those are kind of the big three themes for advanced analytics. And they are living hybrid. They're actually doing this and they're accelerating the adoption of predictive analytics using this hybrid methodology of deployment. So again, I don't want to give too much away, but be sure to join that as well.
No, I think you've done an excellent job there, and I think this is giving the perfect segue to have Mary talk about a particular area of analytics. So Mary, why don't you take the floor really quick and talk about what you would like to sort of give in a highlights reel for Insight.
Sure. Well, it's hard following Jane. Jane has a very broad program with analytics. It's one of, arguably, probably the biggest program there at Insight. The data discovery topic, which primarily focuses on Watson Analytics, is a more of a focused look. But that said, we did debut Watson Analytics just less than a year ago. And so we've continued to see a ton of momentum behind Watson Analytics, which is, it gives you guided analytics, automated prediction, and smart visualizations. It's all available on the cloud. It's meant so that just about anybody can use analytics. You can analyze your own data in minutes on your own. And so this year at Insight, you're going to see us go, we have more sessions. We have a lot of those really great tips and tricks, technical deep dives in terms of how to use Watson Analytics with your data, how to use Watson Analytics with IBM Business Intelligence, with IBM Predictive Analytics, how do they complement each other, and tips and tricks so you can really start to use Watson Analytics and be successful right off the bat and get up over any learning curves that you may have as an individual or as a person who may be trying to enable an organization on smart data discovery tools like Watson Analytics. In terms of, must-see sessions, we do have a presence at the Day 2 general session. Will also be included in the analytics keynote and in the cloud keynote. We have some wonderful sessions on using your data in Watson Analytics, using Watson Analytics with business intelligence, tips and tricks, which I think are always hugely popular with our attendees. And in terms of, we do have a few in terms of partners, we do have one session. It's actually part of Business Partner Summit, but it's actually using APIs in terms of connecting with Watson Analytics, which is going to be a great session for those who want to be able to connect directly with Watson Analytics. And then in terms of customers, we do have Mueller, which I would say is a champion for the entire business analytics portfolio, an early adopter of all of our technologies, including Watson Analytics, and they're going to be giving a session on kind of like their analytics toolkit and how they use all of these software and tools together to really take their organization to the next level and improve decision making. It should be a great one.
Excellent. Well, thank you. That's I'm excited about this. I've been following sort of the evolution of the Watson Analytics offering, and with all the tools that have been APIs, the cloud offering, all those things that for me, I look closely at what can developers get access to. So it's really exciting to see what we're going to be doing at Insight this year. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if we now can switch gears and talk to David. David, how is your microphone doing?
Well, my microphone is fine. How is the audio?
It sounds perfect.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you. And we want to, I guess, switch gears and talk about the content portion of our curriculum. And what would you want to highlight when we dive into this area? Because I think it's really it's a key area for so many of our clients that are doing things with SPSS and all kinds of solutions within our broad portfolio. So why don't you take it away?
Well, it absolutely is, and I'm the ECM marketing manager that thinks a lot about messaging, about the story that we're telling. And I noticed four really important themes emerging from Insight this year. The first is now more than ever, we can extract content, we can extract value from content with all the tools we have. You mentioned SPSS, I2, Watson, all the analytics tools, but also all of the new forms of content that we're seeing video, we're seeing audio, cloud and mobile, access to content 24/7. It's an exploding space right now, and so it starts with our keynote, where we're going to tell a story. We have five Broadway actors who are telling a kind of a law and order story about a bank fraud, and it goes through social media analytics, it shows video analytics and e-discovery, mobile capture, cloud collaboration. We show all of the stuff we can do, and then we'll actually show you the solutions after that. But within the agenda, we're also seeing a lot of stories of manufacturing, insurance, banking, using analytics on content in new ways that they never could before. Another theme that we're seeing is the notion of content as the bridge to improve customer engagement. Because if you think about it, content is the invoices, it's the statements, it's the claims, it's the correspondence and complaints, and all of the back and forth between a customer and an organization. And so those organizations, Spar Nord Bank is talking about how they can get a new customer onboarded in 8 minutes. It used to take 2 weeks. They had 12 different systems. So by streamlining, they can really improve the customer experience, and using analytics to know the customer better, offer the right product at the right time, because hey, they just had a grandchild, might be a good time to talk about a college savings fund. Another thing that we're seeing, and this is for the techies in the audience, is this notion of architecture as destiny, as what you can do because of the architecture of FileNet, DataCap, CMOD, and others, to reuse frameworks that you've already built. So let's say your first application might have taken 6-9 months. Your second one, because 70-80% of it is reusable, can take 2 or 3 months. And so we're seeing organizations with an enterprise approach. AT&T is going to present what they're doing. Great American Insurance presenting what they're doing in that area. We have a panel with DHL, MetLife, and Nedbank from South Africa talking about their shared services approach and how they have created a center of competency. And one more theme that's really, I think is interesting is, and I kind of hit on it before, but the whole CAMS story. So cloud, analytics, mobile, social, and collaboration is an important part of that too. Huge theme. We have this great new partnership with Box. We have a new partnership with Kaltura for video. So we're seeing these partnerships expand our capabilities so that we can do a lot of collaboration on the cloud with Box, and yet have our high-value content, our analytics there as well. So there'll be a lot of sessions with Box, a lot of sessions showing the potential of video and audio mixed in with your case management. So that, to me, is the four things that I think would be really interesting to folks. I'm sure there's one of them that would appeal. And then
Certainly.
we've got almost 45 customers presenting, so we have a lot of client stories.
That is impressive. I love hearing the client stories, and those are always, I think, what really create, just gives the context to a lot of these tools that, it can be like, it can start like sounding like buzzword bingo, but when you really hear what kinds of issues are being tackled, what kind of projects are being, accomplished, it's really fascinating to see it across so many different industries as well. And I love hearing that you're really also having a part of this curriculum really address, the life of the developer as well. So that's important. So I want to go ahead and give the floor to our fourth guest here. I want to give the floor to Steve to talk more about what we're doing with content in this curriculum this year.
Thanks very much. Yeah, so I'd go a little layer deeper than David went, just to give you an idea of how do you really navigate the conference. So, as David said, we have a lot of great customer sessions. So depending on what your industry focus is, government, retail, insurance, finance, telco, we've got some of our more most successful customers talking in the breakouts at the sessions. So very easy to find those guys. Everything from Safeway and Albertsons, Erie Insurance, Nedbank, I think David had mentioned. Or over half of the track sessions are customers. So find out how the software is really being used in action. We have our strategy session. So enterprise content management, product strategy and vision gives you really what is the roadmap over the next few years. We have a panel discussion talking about the evolution of ECM with AIM, IBM, and Box. So you can just imagine how that discussion is going to be really evolving ECM from the current on-prem to the cloud experience. For the more technical among you, we have the experts here. So all of the Meet the Expert sessions, you've got people from all of the disciplines, from general content management, information lifecycle, and governance. We have experts from Box as well, who are going to be part of those sessions. So if you really want to ask specific questions and touch people, go to those. Get a slot booked with a Meet the Experts. Hot topics is things like I think Dave already touched on video. So Kaltura being our major partner there. How do customers take their first steps to the cloud? So really starting to focus on hybrid implementations. If you have an on-prem success, how do you start to take that into the cloud in small bites? Agile content in the cloud with Box. So we have panel discussions with us and Box. We've got our future direction. There's a session called IBM and Box looking forward to the future together. So really understanding not just the trajectory of the features and functionality, but how customers are approaching reimagining ECM for themselves and doing new things and changing the way they do business and being more agile and democratizing the way that they consider rolling out the capabilities in an enterprise. And then the final one I noted down here was cognitive ECM. So really understanding content. David, you touched on it a little bit more, but this is really from the very beginning of a customer touching a document is how do you start using things like DataCap to immediately recognize what it is, extract the right information and the context from it, route it to the right people before it even becomes part of your repository. So you can tell I'm very excited about all of the things that are going on right now, and personally I'm very involved in the Box relationship and what we're doing there as far as ECM reimagining for the cloud. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of the customers and also our own IBMers coming to the event and getting similarly excited by it.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I myself, I am very excited for the conference this year. I really do appreciate everyone taking the time to join the Hangout this week and talking more about the analytics and the content curriculum. This has been very insightful for me. I know it's been for the rest of the audience that's watching or who's watching the replay. I think we've accomplished our mission of giving a fairly quick rundown of this area. So, are there any parting thoughts that anybody wants to give before we sign off this morning?
I would say engage with the people you need to be successful.
Yeah.
They're all going to be there.
Yes.
From the very strategic people, the analysts, the experts, the strategy people, all the way down to those guys that are going to help you understand things like how does Bluemix tools relate to me doing a development of a new application.
Right, right. And then for me, I would also say the same thing. You kind of have to take a lot of this advice and then figure out how you're going to spend your day. There's definitely a way that to navigate a conference of this size. These tips, like all of you have given, these insights are really helpful for guiding folks through such a large set of user sessions, breakout sessions, keynotes, all those things. We even have areas like the expo that we mentioned earlier on the Hangout. We have a social lounge this year called the Park, where there's going to be many events happening with the Weather Company, with Twitter, with lots of key folks that are either partners of ours or using our technology. So I'm looking forward to this conference, and I think we should.
Can I add one thing too?
Yeah, go right ahead, Mary.
Can I add one? maybe two things. And so I absolutely agree with Steve. I mean, it is a chance, especially in the sessions, in the expo, like in the booths, in the meet the experts, all the sessions where you actually can speak with product developers and product managers, always huge. I know that the hands-on labs where you actually get to kind of kick the tires of the software and solutions are always really popular. They often fill up in advance. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you really, really wanted to get into a hands-on lab but couldn't get in, there actually is a drop-in lab on the expo floor that's set up with all the curriculum. You can drop in at any time and check out that software that you were most interested in. It's a really good experience for many. So I think definitely a hat tip from those who have been there. That lab on the expo floor is huge. And then, like, lastly, comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
I was going to say that one. Yeah.
Who couldn't?
Wear
Yeah.
comfortable shoes.
All right. So Jane, David, any thoughts on your side?
I would say that think about, we're talking a lot about meet the experts and meeting the IBMers, get your hands on the technology, really try something new, right? So a lot of folks come there and they go to the same product that they always do. Really kind of push the envelope and think about all of we talk about convergence and how we bring technologies together. Go ahead to those sessions that talk about multiple things, and please do experience that. There is the hands-on lab, and I think I'm talking about maybe the same thing Mary is. There is a demo room that is by the expo where there's a number of booths where you can see some things that you can't necessarily do yourself, but you'll be able to get a guided tour of something like decision optimization in the cloud, right? You may not be able to do this in a hands-on lab, but you can see this, touch this, and meet the expert who can tell you what it does. So take advantage of those as well. And the comfortable shoes, I cannot stress it enough. Leave the heels at home.
Well, how about David? You close us out here.
Well, yeah, these were very practical notes and good advice. And one thing I'll say in the content side, we have a number of user groups that are having their meetings sometime during the 4 days of during the conference. So if you're a user of CM8, IBM Content Manager, if you're a user of Case Manager or any of the products, find other like-minded people like you. Make sure you get to these user group meetings, because you can actually meet with developers and have a little bit of say in future releases. So take advantage of meeting the development community and to meet the experts, as Steve mentioned, where you really get to talk to the architects and maybe ask them for the new feature that you need for your business.
That is excellent advice. I love that, and I'm definitely a big fan of these user group meetings and meetups. And this conference is a great way, like you said, to meet folks from all walks. So I thank everyone for joining the Hangout today. Make sure everyone that's watching, tune in for our next couple of Hangouts that we're going to have over the next couple of weeks, leading right into the conference, where we're going to dive into 2 other deep dives for the curriculum to get you ready for Insight 2015. So have a great day, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon back on IBM Insight Chat.